Okay, so this is Let's Talk Real Estate, Let's Get Real, and my name is Darlene Dara from Century 21 Dreams, and I'm your host. Today's podcast is about living in a condo, the pros and cons, who a condo market is targeted to, and really why somebody would select it. So you have to be informed, that's one thing. Condo sales, you really need to be working with somebody who knows really not only just negotiating a good price, but also what you should be looking for, resale value, and also the fact that really you have to have an inspection and a review on the status certificate. So there's a lot more involved in some cases with condos, so you really do need to be working with somebody who is aware of that. So condos, who's the target? Well, the target is a variety of people. It could be first-time buyers, and really that pool we do believe is going to increase with the new mortgage rules that just got introduced, limiting the amount of purchase price that a lot of times first-time buyers, particularly ones that don't have enough down payment and need to be CMHC approved, we do believe that the condo market is going to become even more popular. It could also be for young adults where parents are helping their children get into the real estate market because, quite frankly, with a lot of the prices lately and the market the way it is, a lot of young will not really get into the market unless they have some help one way or the other through some family members. So that is a big target. Investment, a lot of people are buying them for rental because rents are quite high and they can carry the properties. So that's another key component. Downsizers, a lot of times people who are retiring or just want to cash out their homes, take their equity, buy something else and have really the ease of ownership with a condo. Or if they're retiring and they're empty nesters and they're living part of the year away, condos are an ideal market. So as you can see, there is a lot of different people that condos target as far as the buyers. Okay, so why would you be even considering buying? What's a pro of buying a condo? Well, one of the main reasons that people do is virtually they're maintenance free. Other than the inside of your condominium, what you do, decorating, renovating, or whatever, really the rest of the maintenance is covered by the building. It's really covered with your maintenance fees, and it really is into two buckets, either regular maintenance, which could be, grass cutting, snow removal, whatever, and then what we call capital expenditures, which would be long-term updates that have to happen as a building begins to age, and those expenses are factored in and really kept sort of aside through the maintenance fees in really your reserve fund. So that could be roofing, underground parking that needs to be redone. So really major expenses of a building, pools that have to be repaired over many years. But again, individually, you're not responsible. It will be part of the building maintenance. So that's really great, and the costs are shared by everybody, using your maintenance fees. So a lot of times there's not those unexpected costs, particularly if you're tight on a budget. Suddenly your roof goes. If you own a house, you really do have to repair it. So what are some of the other reasons? Well, condos, the amenities, they have cool amenities. I mean, there's such a variety now, particularly new condos, of what they're offering, depending on the demographics that they're attracting. You could have professional looking basketball courts, volleyball courts, indoor pools, saunas, exercise rooms, theaters, rooftop terraces, dog runs, wine tasting rooms. I mean, it honestly just goes on and on and on. So the amenities, you don't have to go anywhere and get rid of those. Other, club memberships, everything is under one roof. You come home. I mean, it's just the ease of it is just unbelievable. So, really the builders are really targeting. There was a period when, many years ago where they were actually paring down these buildings. It seems now that they're actually ramping them up, particularly the young. They're quite demanding on what they want. So condos are really, they're starting to include those in the buildings because really the demand is there. So what's another pro? Well, the condos generally cost less. So not always, but generally they do. And because of that, they're particularly good with entry-level budgets and younger buyers. Safety is a key, particularly the young females on their own, seniors. So often the security, again, is varied depending on the building. You could have a key system. You could have an on-site concierge who buzzes people in. Again, even when I'm showing condos to list them or to buy them, a lot of times how you get into a building is varied. As well, you have cameras in underground parking around the building perimeters, in the lobbies. So the feeling of security is really paramount in buildings. They tend to also be in good locations. They're often right at transit lines, near shopping. Really, it's about location, 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 and depending on those factors, can increase the value and the demand for that particular condo. And also, there's a community feel. You can be part of a board. You can vote. To try to have your voice heard. You can be part of the committees. There's social committees depending on the building. So there's a lot of varieties. You do tend to feel like you're part of a community. So it doesn't have to be lonely living, so to speak. Okay, so what is the cons of really buying a condo? Well, the main one is the condo fees. The condo fees can continuously go up. Hopefully your building is well managed. If it's older, hopefully the reserve fund is there. You could have special assessments for major repairs as the building ages, but generally, you're hoping that they really can range from about 200 to 700. Higher price condo fees, though, you need to look at the fine print. It could actually also include some of the utilities. Older buildings were not generally self-unit regulated. So again, you really have to know what the maintenance fee is including and not including. Less space typically, particularly the new builds, they can be quite small. So it really is more compact living. New demographics, so don't seem to really care. They're out and about. And as well, if you're not living there, part of the year, or you just also don't need, your kids have now grown and you really don't need this size. So often there is less space. You have to keep that in mind as well. A little less privacy because really, there's a lot of units and there can be more noise to be turned off. So you really have to be careful. You have to be considerate of the people around you. So you really have to inspect the unit before you're buying to be, careful. You may have to pay your amenities you never use. That's one thing. So all these amenities that you have, they're part of your, factored into your condo fees, but you may never use them. So again, you're forced to pay it because really you're part of a community. Nobody's forcing you to use it, but you do have to continue to provide your share of the cost to keep them up. Okay, and you don't really get to have a say on major maintenance or changes often. They're really done by the decision of the board or directors, and those are the people that you elect. So again, it's not exactly like having your house where you decide everything. There's a pro and a con to that as well. Okay, so there might also be some additional costs. As I was saying, you might have what we refer to as a special assessment if some big changes happen. Or unexpected repairs and there isn't enough money, especially in the reserve fund. Now also one key thing is that there often is restrictions and rules regarding balcony use, noise level, parking, pets, smoking, style and color sometimes of doors and windows, barbecues and things like that. So you have to live within the rules. And depending, some of those rules do get changed over time from boards, but again, it's not like you can dictate everything. You do have to be a good citizen of the building. So value appreciation, well, typically it is a little bit slower compared to a house or a townhouse. And doing major repairs and renovations won't necessarily raise the value. So it really depends what you're doing. So again, the bottom line, condo living, it really is a lifestyle, and it can be wonderful for some and not so wonderful for others. So you have to be realistic on your expectations when you're purchasing, this type of housing. But for a lot of people, it really is the answer to home ownership. So if I can help at all, email me at darlene@homesaledivas.com or call or text 905-338-1515 is the office and ask for Darlene Dara. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.